Okay, well, I'd like to welcome you all to today's Coffee with Kendall. Thank you for joining us. Today, we are going to be learning about a cruise line that is described as ultra luxury, small ships, which we always hear that our guests are very excited about because we know that they can get into those unique ports and destinations. Top of the line, all inclusive. So I look forward to you learning more. And so we have invited Kelly with Silversea Cruises to chat with us this morning. She is going to take us through a presentation and an overview of all things Silversea. So I'm going to turn it over to Kelly and we're going to get started.
My name is Kelly Beeble. I am the Senior Director of Field Sales here at Silversea. So you're probably familiar with Betsy Burke. She is your Area Sales Director. She is on our beautiful Endeavor right now, cruising and much deserved little vacation. So she asked if I could support while she is out. So really thrilled to be here. I have been with Silversea about 8 months, so still fairly new. I was with American Society of Travel Advisors, ASTA, for 6.5 years as their Vice President of Business Development. And before that, I worked for Ritz-Carlton for 8 years at a few different properties. I tell you that just so that you have context of who I am and the experience I'm coming to you with. So I would love to take you through a journey, starting a little bit foundational about who Silversea is, spending some time on our newest ships, Silver Ray and Silver Nova, talking about a few voyages, and then important information to know and how to go to market and resources that are available to you. So I am just going to dive right in. So you can see here, this is kind of our mission statement. We exist to unlock deeper expedition experiences in luxury. So as Kendall mentioned, taking guests deeper into destinations, to smaller ports with really unique and authentic experiences. So let's see if this is going to work. There we go. Do you see the hallmarks of our brand? Okay, excellent. So I think every strong brand or company has sort of the pillars in which they exist on. And sort of the North Star that points them in the correct direction. So these are the hallmarks of Silversea. Traveling deeper, we talked about that, really, getting deeper into destinations, a different experience than you might have with other partners sailing the seas. And we do this with intimate small ships. So we'll see our fleet in a little bit, but 12 beautiful ships, each one very different in size and offering, but all intimate. The largest one is 728, and our smallest ship hosts 100 guests. We sail from pole to pole across the world, all 7 continents. So if your guests are dreaming of a destination, chances are Silversea can take them there. And we're going to take them there with this ultra luxury experience, like Kendall mentioned, with superior service. Truly, door to door, every need that they expressed or even unexpressed is provided to them. We also provide exceptional cuisine in a variety of different manners. I think, food is something that really continues to unite everybody and create incredible memories. We're going to talk a little bit more about the SALT program. You can see on the chef's uniform, which stands for Sea and Land Taste. But really bringing the destinations to our guests through their palate and through immersive enrichment, whether that's on our expedition product and the onboard education, or even the offshore excursions that we offer and include to our guests. So this just highlights the 7 continents that we explore and really, some of the key destinations. We have sailings available through, actually, I think it's summer of 2026. In September, we will release the rest of 2026 and all of 2027 as well. So this slide actually looks like a cruise line's entire fleet, but this is really just the 6 ships that we have delivered to Silversea since 2021. So you can see, the amount of investment that continues to go into this brand, especially with the support of our parent company, Royal Caribbean. We've been able to acquire ships like the Silver Endeavor, and then, have new builds that you can see from the Moon, the Origin, and the Dawn, all the way to our newest Nova and Ray. And this slide does a nice job of showing you all of the fleets. You can see all 12 here. In the top left-hand corner, you can see the Evolution, or the Nova class that we have recently introduced. Then on the right, we have the Shadow class, which is sort of our classic veteran ship. People love the Whisper and the Shadow. They are very intimate with under 400 guests, and more of a classic feel. We have the Muse class, bottom left, which has 4 ships that are around around 596 guests. The Silver Spirit got stretched a little bit so it accommodates a few more guests. And then we have our 4 ships, 3 of which are ice class ships that take our guests around the world through an expedition experience. And we'll talk a little bit about this unique offering that Silversea has. So we mentioned personalized service, and there's a variety of ways that this comes through with Silversea. Number one, we are an all-suite accommodation. So your guests, will enjoy really beautiful suite accommodations no matter what class they are booking. And this also includes a butler in every suite. So there is a room attendant, an individual that cleans and prepares your room every day and makes sure that you have everything you need. But then you have your butler as well. And I think some people wonder, what do I do with a butler? Or, it makes them feel a little bit uneasy at first. But the butlers can do everything from packing and unpacking guests to making dining reservations, to assisting with, anything that they desire. One example that I love is recently we had a solo traveler. We have a great solo traveler program. And this young lady liked to sail with us, and every day at 4 o'clock, she liked to come back to her suite and have a cold glass of oaky Chardonnay and read her book and have some mixed nuts with that Chardonnay. And so she did this on day 1, she did this on day 2, and day 3, she came back to her suite, and there was an oaky glass of Chardonnay, and she was prepared to read her book, and that there was a bowl of cashews. And she said to her butler, "What happened? Did you run out of mixed nuts?" And he said, "No, but I noticed you were only eating the cashews." So it's just those subtle, the subtle sort of being attuned with the guests, their preferences, and bringing them more of what they love. We talked a little bit about culinary and all things food. As I mentioned, I've been with Silversea for about 8 months. I went on my first cruise a few months ago, and I came back a few pounds heavier, which I was not happy about. But it was because the food is just phenomenal. Specialty restaurants, each one offering a unique experience. Very open seating. It's easy to be accommodated throughout all of the venues. And delicious menus. We talked also about the SALT program. So again, this stands for Sea and Land Taste. And this comes through in a variety of ways. So the SALT Lab, which is on board 4 of our vessels, which is a complimentary, incredible cooking class. It's a 45-minute class that is with an engaging chef walking you through local cuisine and building that together. We also have Salt Kitchen and Salt Bar. Both of those are venues that change with every port that we go into. So Salt Kitchen, you'll have a voyage menu in there if you do want certain consistent items. But then every port that we go into, there's a different menu that's offered in Salt, which just makes it really memorable and unique and ever-changing. We have a number of Salt Talks or educational opportunities. And then the SALT experiences, which are these elevated excursions, where maybe you go into the market with the chef and do the picking up of the items, the shopping of the items that they'll be using to then take back to the restaurant, cook you a beautiful meal, maybe meet the cheese purveyor that's a 7th generation purveyor of this cheese, and really just getting more local with the locals and having these really incredible and delicious experiences. So I said I was going to mention a bit about Silver Ray and Silver Nova, and I am going to take you through a number of photos because I want you to just have this virtual ship tour experience so that you know about the 2 newest ships in our fleet. So Silver Nova was introduced, built and introduced in 2023 last year, so she's just over a year old. And Silver Ray was just introduced in last month. I had the opportunity to sail on both. Truly, truly game changers for the industry. Largest ships for us, 728 guests, close to a 1-to-1, 1 to 1.5 guest to staff ratio. So really high attention to detail, and you know your guest needs are all being taken care of. But really different design here, an unprecedented openness. And if you follow Silversea, or if you're a regular with us, then you've seen this photo probably of this asymmetrical design that we have. So we're used to seeing on a classic cruise ship the pool being the center, masterpiece in the top floor, this top deck. We've actually moved it on the starboard side, so it's off to the side, creating this horizontal design that flows through the whole ship. So off to the left, if you can see my mouse moving, there's a pool bar over here, beautiful bar that's 360 around. And then up here on the 11th deck, where my mouse is moving, there is what we call the cliff or the whirlpool, which is off on the port side. So having this design just opens it up in such a beautiful way. It creates this infinity style pool where when you're sailing, where you're swimming in the pool, it sort of blends right into the ocean and you're arriving at the destination before you're even there. It creates just so much more space and a really lovely flow. On the Silver Ray and the Silver Nova, we've also introduced a number of new suite categories. For example, this OTM suite, which is on the right that you can see. Beautiful, beautiful suite. Very popular with our guests. You know that our guests tend to book higher category suites first. So these are popular and definitely in high demand. We talked about the SALT program. On the Silver Ray and the Silver Nova, we do have SALT kitchen, lab, the table, which is that cooking experience, and the bar. You can see, I think I have another photo of the chef's table and the chef's lab, but it's just this beautiful all window exposed space. So the lab and the chef's table is really one space in itself. So during the day, it hosts these cooking classes in the lab, and in the evening, it becomes this chef table, this intimate dining experience guided by a chef. We have a number of beautiful dining restaurants and opportunities on Silver Ray and Silver Nova. You can see a few of those here. La Dame, which is very large, our elevated French dining experience. One of my favorite, which is the Marquis, which we'll see a photo of in a moment, which is the grill here in the left corner, and Sacca Napoli combined into one al fresco restaurant. Also, a number of bars and lounges, 10 bars and lounges on board. Arts Cafe, which is very central in this ship, which is a little bit different than our other ships. And same as Dolce Vita, also like central, this heartbeat of the ship. Really beautiful venues. And the Venetian Lounge, which is where you can enjoy nightly entertainment, which is a 2-story, surrounded by windows lounge space, which is just beautiful. I'm going to just run through these quickly, but some great photos of, you can see the Salt Bar, which is very large on both Silver Ray and Silver Nova. Again, unique drinks throughout the voyage that reflect the local libations of the destination we're in. Salt Lab, where we do the cooking classes, and the chef's kitchen. And you can see here again that a wall of all glass floor to ceiling. We have the Salt Kitchen, which again has that ever-changing menu depending on the port that you're in, which is just a really cool experience. I was on board in Alaska, and then separately I was on board in Portugal. And the menus were wildly different, reflecting the local cuisine. You know, sardines in Portugal and some beautiful Alaskan salmon and fresh fish when we were in Alaska. Silver Note is a really popular venue for our guests. It is a jazz restaurant with this kind of this moody feel. You feel like you're in New York or Chicago, an old jazz club. It's also all Papa style, and again, a fan favorite. Kaiseki, which is incredible. It's open for lunch and dinner, which has sushi and then other Japanese inspired dishes. And then I mentioned the marquee. So you can see here, I mean, just let me admit, two people waiting. Apologies. Okay, sorry. Hard to multitask in these things. The marquee, which is just beautiful. So here, two favorites of our guests: the grill, which is where you cook on the stone, the heated lava stone, or Spec Napoli, which is, I think, truly the best pizza at sea. So both menus are offered in this space, and then a separate marquee menu as well. So you have a lot of different options, and you forget you're on a ship in this space. It is absolutely beautiful. You feel the breeze. Like I said, even when we were sailing in Alaska, the perimeter parts of it have heaters over it, which are very subtle. You don't see them, but you feel the heat. There's also blankets for the cooler nights, but a really incredible venue that's new on Silver Ray and Silver Nova. You can see here again the pool deck. Let me give you another angle here. One thing I also love about our pool is that our chairs are a couple inches higher than some of the other cruise lines out there. And why this is important is it just allows our guests to get in and out of those deck chairs easier. And I think when you mention it to people, they realize after, like, oh yeah, it was much easier to get in and out. Beautiful cabanas too at the pool, which are available to anybody that wants to sit and enjoy. We have the dusk bar, which is aft facing, a really nice space to have a cocktail while you're sailing away. There's some beautiful lounge spaces around this area as well. And it's kind of tucked away and hidden. But one of my favorite spaces, again, as you're pulling away from a port, it's really beautiful. Arts Cafe, we serve, everything is complimentary, but we serve these delicious cronuts, the croissant and donut hybrid that go so quickly in the morning. They're gone quickly, but the team works quickly to replenish them. But scones throughout the day, muffins, tuna and chicken salad wraps, but light bites, cheese plates and fruit plates. You can see in this corner right here these beautiful infused spa waters. So a really nice place to get an espresso, a latte, to sit around the reception area. You're right off reception and the shore excursion team. So it's a really nice space to meet before you go out on an excursion or grab a coffee or tea throughout the day. The atrium reception, so again, sort of extending off the space we were just looking at. But this is a 3-story area. So as you can see, this huge glass wall on the left-hand side, which spans 3 floors. So as you walk through the Silver Ray and the Silver Nova, the guest-to-space ratio is just higher than anything that's out there. It's spacious in the hallways while you're moving to your guest room. It's spacious through every floor. And the floor to glass windows just allow so much light in. So I say it's game changing because you really don't feel you're on a ship. The decor is very much like a modern boutique, high-end hotel, but this sunlight that's pouring in and the glass just allows you to experience the outdoors in such a natural, beautiful way. And it doesn't feel closed in or small or like a vessel in any way. You feel like you're more at land in a beautiful destination. So at the bottom of that 3-story atrium space that we just looked at is the shelter, which is this beautiful champagne bar sort of tucked away. They have exquisite drinks, exclusive to this venue. Each bar has their own drink menu, and a lot of cocktails surrounding champagne in this champagne bar. Panorama Lounge, which is another popular space. We have music in here. We have some activities in here. In the evening, the DJ plays and people come out to the dance floor and start to dance. And it's just a beautiful version of the panorama lounge. It's so open, spacious, soft colors, rich gem tones. It's just so inviting. And off the panorama lounge is this outdoor space too. With you can see this rounded area is actually around a fire pit, a really nice elevated fire pit. You can see above too is those subtle heaters that I was talking about throughout. So even in colder destinations, these spaces can be used. And just so much lounge, so many lounge chairs, very comfortable cushioned chairs throughout the whole space. Dolce Vita, as I mentioned, is sort of the heartbeat of this ship. It's a beautiful bar that has entertainment and music throughout the evenings, and a really nice central place to meet for a pre-dinner cocktail or even after. Observation lounge is this quiet space to maybe read a book or chat with friends. There's a coffee machine in there, so you can sort of have a coffee and look out onto the miles and miles of oceans that are in front of you. And then in the observation lounge, one of my favorite spaces is there's this door that you kind of don't even notice, and a plaque outside the door which says the library. And if you're not looking for it, you kind of skip over it, but you open it, and then it introduces this beautiful library space with, you can sort of see in the top left-hand corner, like these twinkling lights in the ceiling. All of these books that are available for guests to take and return and enjoy during their voyage. I've had a couple meetings in here because, again, it's just a nice quiet space. I've had a few guests ask me where it's a good space to have a morning Zoom call if they have a meeting to take. And so this is just a nice hidden gem. So, that's just a sneak peek of Silver Ray and Silver Nova. If you are traveling on one of those ships, or if your guests are, I would encourage them to start their voyage by exploring the ship and really walking it top to bottom. It's so unique. The spaces are just beautiful, and it's worth really exploring every inch of the ship so that you can discover each unique area. Here are a couple of the voyages that your guests can enjoy if they're looking to explore the Silver Ray and the Silver Nova. Another thing to mention, and I didn't have a slide on it, but is the sustainability aspect here too. Our guests have received refillable water bottles in their suites. It is the most sustainable ship at sea right now. With the way the ship was built, the hull, also the hybrid ability to plug into shore power. We offer behind the scenes tours and galley tours, and it's just so incredible to see how efficient these engines are, and how much more conscious we are of the impact on the environment as we explore these new builds and leaving these destinations just as we found them, or even more beautiful. So I encourage you to look at some of these beautiful voyages in the Mediterranean, in Alaska, in New Zealand, so that your guests can experience the newest and greatest ship from Silversea. So I mentioned early on, another beautiful, incredible aspect of our brand is Silversea Expeditions. Four ships in this category, and when you sail with Silversea, you have the options to go on more of an adventure of an expedition, or go classic with us. A lot of guests that come on an expedition with us, we see will then, maybe they'll come for Galapagos, and then we see they return for Antarctica or the Kimberleys, and then they move over to classic. So it's a really beautiful sort of pipeline for your business too. If you have guests that have sailed everywhere, then this is a nice opportunity for them as well. So why is Silversea for expedition versus the competition out there? There are a lot of great options out there. Silversea, with 4 beautiful ships, has just a ton of coverage around the world, pole to pole, especially in Antarctica, with 2 ships living out there and available throughout the year. We also have our bridge program in Antarctica. So if guests don't want to sail the Drake Passage, which can be beautiful and calm, or it can be more what people say, the Drake shake. Then they have the opportunity to fly into Antarctica as well with Silversea. So just unprecedented coverage and a number of ways to get there and get out there and explore. We've been doing this for over 16 years. So this is not new for Silversea. We put so much time and effort and energy and money into exploring and identifying these destinations before we even take our guests there. So we're continuously innovating, identifying new ports to bring guests to. We have an incredible team of ologists that are on board to educate your guests. The education, happens before they go out for the day, and as you're sailing to the next port, there's a number of lectures, and so that they're learning both on shore and offshore. The ships that I mentioned. I mean, we have the opportunity to acquire the most expensive ship out there, the Endeavor, which is a beautiful ice class ship. And so your guests are having the opportunity to get to these destinations, experience expedition in a way that's available to everybody. We like to say if a guest can climb a flight of stairs, then they can do an expedition with us. The biggest challenge is getting in and out of a Zodiac. And when I say biggest challenge, I mean it involves sitting down and swinging your legs over. There's many staff and support to assist guests that need any assistance, but it really is available to anybody that is comfortable walking around doing a flight of stairs. There are always options to do hikes or an elevated experience, but then there are always options to explore more of a softer adventure way. So I just want you to keep that in mind, that it's definitely available to all types of guests. This is not just adventure seekers that are ready to run a marathon. So I mentioned a few of the destinations, but Galapagos Islands is a really popular one. The Arctic and the Greenland area, Antarctica, I think, is probably the hottest right now. And then Kimberley is in Australia too, sort of a lesser known beautiful destination. So who are your expedition clients? I've sort of touched on it, but individuals that are looking for more of an adventurous experience. Individuals that have traveled everywhere. Maybe they've been to all of the items on their bucket list and they want to experience something new. Also individuals that are curious, curious about new destinations, curious just by nature and interested in discovery, want more off the beaten track type of experience, not a heavy tourist destination. So I think it's important to think about who you have in your portfolio that's worth introducing. Oh, yes.
Yeah, just so that we're aware, the people that are on this call are actually guests. So these are really good questions that they should be asking themselves to find out if this is a perfect fit.
Apologies. Okay, we'll want to think about some of the slides that we have coming up. So these are, I got it. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I truly apologize. Okay, so hopefully this is you, and you're interested in seeking out a bit of an adventure. We have a number of also new voyages that are available throughout Northern Europe and British Isles. I just came back from 8 days in Scotland. Such a beautiful, beautiful area. And so we have some new expedition offerings that are available throughout Northern Europe and British Isles, which are definitely worth exploring. And so I'd like to highlight just a few voyages that are available to you. And as part of Brandt Travel, you would have a bit of an exclusive offer on board these sailings. So Vancouver to Seward, a beautiful way to experience Alaska. Viewing Alaska on Silver Nova is a unique experience in itself. So if you've been to Alaska, I would not hesitate to go back on board Silver Nova. It will be a different experience. This is a nice voyage for 7 days, very easy to accommodate. really just a beautiful destination in our backyard. Listen to Barcelona on board the beautiful new Silver Ray. I recently, actually, this was our inaugural sailing on Silver Ray, and we have, we get guest surveys back after every voyage, and the scores were just through the roof for both the destination, the itinerary, the ports of call, the excursions, and of course being on board that new Silver Ray. And then also Galapagos on board the Silver Origin. So Silver Origin is an incredible ship. She is absolutely stunning. She accommodates 100 guests, and she is out there every day of the year. So 7-day sailings that you can pick any week of the year to explore the Galapagos, and you can also combine a number of these voyages so that you can experience a bit longer in the Galapagos, do 14 days. So we did just launch the 2027 World Cruise. Oops, sorry about that. A beautiful 149-day exploration to 80 different destinations. If you have been cruising for quite some time, if you like to cruise many times throughout the year, I would encourage you to look at some of our grand voyages or definitely the World Cruise. We have a World Cruise every year. We still have some availability on 2025 and 2026 if you're interested. But 2027 is absolutely beautiful, going from LA to Copenhagen, a number of UNESCO World Heritage sites. We have some beautiful information, videos and photos that we can share with you if you're interested to explore the World Cruise a bit more. World Cruise guests, in addition to sailing with us for 149 days on board the beautiful Silver Dawn, they also receive these unique bespoke experiences throughout their voyage. Maybe we're helicoptering them to a specific destination where you're dining on local cuisine and hearing from a local chorus. I mean, if you can dream it, we have done it. These experiences are just over the top. So I encourage you to look at a World Cruise with Silversea. So I'm going to breeze through a couple of these, but let me introduce you to our new dress code. This was a change that we had recently. And this was really, based on feedback from our guests like you. So Silversea used to have 3 different dress codes that impacted your voyage. And now we've simplified it so there are 2 different offerings. Elegant Casual, which is available, let's say for 7-day voyages, every evening is going to be Elegant Casual. And there's Formal Optional, which will happen a few times throughout a longer cruise. Elegant Casual means that guests there's still no jeans after 6 p.m. and no sandals. It's no sneakers, no flip-flops, that kind of attire. But casual wear is suitable for indoors. So gentlemen, I would say, khakis and a polo is acceptable now for Elegant Casual evenings. If you're dining indoors, then you would have to wear a jacket, especially if you're dining in La Dame, which is our elevated French restaurant. But ties are no longer required, and just a little bit more casual. If you're dining outside in a number of our venues, you can stay completely Elegant Casual. So this is a change. We have some great talking points and information that's available online. You can also speak to Kendall and the team about this change, just to understand how this may be affecting your voyage. But really, we've gotten great feedback about this. We have an incredible solo traveler program. If you travel alone, or if you have a friend that likes to travel alone, not only do we have really, really low solo supplement, single supplement pricing, but we also have a really nice program that starts with a meet and greet reception on that first evening. introducing you to your other to your peers that become friends by the end of your experience. We have a number of get-togethers throughout the voyage, and we also have for ladies that like to sail with us alone but like to dance in the evening. We have gentlemen that are available to dance with them, so they can still enjoy. And also, we love inviting our solo travelers to dinner with our captain and with our staff. So if you do travel alone or have friends that like to join you alone, be sure to ask Kendall about what's available and the number of voyages where we have as low as no solo supplement, 0%. I want to introduce you the way to book with Silversea and to book with Brandt Travel. So the cornerstone of how to book travel with Silversea is our door-to-door all-inclusive fares. And what does door-to-door mean? So this infographic, I think, lays it out really nicely. A door-to-door booking means that we pick you up at your front door. You have a private transfer that takes you to the airport. We have booked your flights in economy class, but upgrades to business are available. We have booked any pre-hotel that you need to have before your cruise. We transfer all of your luggage, get you on board this ultra luxury all-inclusive sailing. And on that voyage, everything is included. So we talked about your butler. We talked about shore excursions. Included in your price is one shore excursion per day. All of your gratuities are included. Your Starlink Wi-Fi. I was just on board, as I mentioned. I had a couple of Zooms. Had no problem hosting video Zooms while on board. All of your food and beverage is included, premium beverages both in suite and throughout the ship. And this truly means everything. So that's all included in your cruise. Then for the door-to-door, we're going to take you back through the experience. So we're going to put you in a hotel if it's required. We're going to fly you home, and then we're going to give you that private transfer back to your front door. So this is the way, the most, honestly, the highest value, the most classic way to book with Silversea. And this is what we mean by all included. This is the way to go with Silversea. One price, and you don't have to think about anything again. Now, if you are somebody that likes to book your own air, or maybe you have points that you like to use, then we have two other ways to book with Silversea. So I'll go quickly over those. So you can see door-to-door on the left. We have port-to-port, which is just the cruise part of the experience. So you're going to drive yourself to the airport. You're going to fly on your own, but you want that ultra luxury, all-inclusive cruise experience. Shore excursions are included, food and beverage, Wi-Fi, butler, all of that's included. But again, you're going to get yourself there, you're going to get yourself home. So those are the two options that are available on every single voyage with Silversea. You can choose to book door-to-door, or you can choose to book port-to-port. Both of them have flexible cancellation policies, and again, are available on every booking. Then the last type of fare that we introduced recently is called the Essential Fare. It's the most affordable. It is voyage only. And what I mean by that is this is going to be your ultra luxury cruise experience. You're going to have your butler, you're going to have your Wi-Fi, you're going to have the food and beverage. You're not going to have shore excursions. So those are available to purchase if you'd like to. But this booking is for people that are ready to cruise in the next 5 months, because they're only available closer in. And this is available for the cruiser that wants to book their own travel. They're going to get themselves to the ship. They're going to fly themselves home. And you're just looking for that cruise experience. So this is a great way to book Silversea closer in, have that ultra luxury experience, be on your own for your travel to and from, be on your own for excursions, or purchase our excursions if you'd like. But this is just a new way to experience Silversea. So if you've sailed before on Celebrity, let's say, and maybe you book a premium cabin, this is a beautiful way to introduce you to Silversea. It's going to be, again, the most affordable. Now, listen, one thing to keep in mind is that it is non-refundable. So once you book, you're locked in, and there is that strict cancellation policy. We love to have promotions out there to sort of sweeten the deal for you. Right now, we do have what we call 4,000 reasons to sail with Silversea. So it's available on a number of voyages, not every voyage, but a number of voyages where you'll have a $4,000 savings on door to door, or a $2,000 savings on port to port. It's also a reduced 15% reduced deposit. So this is available on a number of voyages through 2026, and this is available through the end of July. So keep that in mind. You can see the voyages that this is available on. Kendall can share that with you. She can explore the options with you. You can also look on Silversea just to see which voyages that would apply to. Sweeten the deal even more is an additional $500 per suite savings on any 24 or 25 voyage. So this is incredible. The value for Silversea is there. There is one price that you are paying for an all-inclusive ultra luxury experience. You see the price. That is the price that you pay, and there is nothing additional to pay on after you depart. But now, in addition to the 4,000 ways to save, $4,000 savings, we have this exclusive offer that's $500 per suite savings. So I think that is my last slide. I think I just end with a gorilla face and a thank you. So I would love to open it up if there's any.
Well, if you do have a question, we have Kelly live. And if you think of something, you certainly can reach out to us, and I have her at our disposal. She'll be glad to answer those questions. One thing I just thought was really interesting, Kelly, you said how you are going to release through 2027 in September. And I know for a lot of people that's mind-blowing, 2027. But as we are seeing just with trends, people are wanting to book further and further out. And as you shared, your vessels are quite small. So, those itineraries do tend to fill up. But I think you certainly tempted quite a few folks with those amazing photos, the culinary, and a lot of different unique places that we could visit. So I look forward to you all reviewing Silversea a little bit. Let us know what we can share with you in terms of itineraries. And we have those great specials for watching today. So we look forward to helping you with your next Silversea cruise. And thank you so much, Kelly, for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you soon on board.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.